Yep.
Sweet. Okay. Great. Woo! I was a little concerned about the technology, but I got it.
Yay.
Yay. Okay. So we're going to talk about willpower tonight. One key factor in our ability to make changes in our lives is willpower. We use it for everything from lifting weights to losing weight to clearing out our email boxes, any change. Every area of our lives, we use willpower to make a change in it. But sometimes, I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but sometimes willpower can be elusive. And sometimes it can come and go and kind of fluctuate. And I often hear people say things like, oh, I know what I need to do, but I need the willpower. Or they'll say, I was doing so well, but then I fell off the wagon and I can't get my motivation back. I hear things like that all the time. So 6 out of 10 of the big sweeping promises to change end up failing within 3 months. So why is that? Why is it that when people make big sweeping promises to change, they fail within 3 months? Well, we're going to talk about that tonight. So willpower has an unusual way of working. We're going to learn what it exactly is, why does it fail us, and how can we make it work better for us? All right. The first reason that the motivation to change fails us is because we try to change too many things at once, like juggling too many balls, and we can't focus on one thing long enough. Second thing is we have no solid action plan. So we know where we want to go, but we just don't know how to get there. We have no plan. And the third reason is life patterns don't support, or our life patterns support our old habits. And so our old thinking is kind of blocking us from doing it the old way. So we want these new habits, but we've got these patterns that we've fallen into that don't support the new habits that we want. So what is willpower? There are other, some common synonyms for willpower is determination, drive, resolve, self-control, restraint, self-discipline, can-do spirit, resilience, grit, or bootstrapping. Those are just a few of the ones that I could think of. But the common thread among all of these is that you're forcing yourself to do something that you really don't want to do. So that's the common thread. Definitions of willpower are the ability to delay gratification, resisting short-term temptations in order to meet long-term goals, the capacity to override an unwanted thought, feeling, or impulse, the ability to use your cool cognitive system of behavior rather than your hot emotional system, otherwise known as using your mind over your heart. It's also called a conscious, effortful regulation of the self by the self. And the last definition is a limited resource capable of being depleted. So let's look at that final definition. Limited resource. It actually may not be true. So let's take a closer look at that. A lot of people will say that sometimes, that, oh, I was good all week. I was eating salads every day. I was drinking my water. I was so good. And then Friday night hit and I lost all my willpower. I hear that a lot too. But what have we learned about willpower in the past that can help us figure this out? We have, one of the things that research showed was that willpower will actually physically wear us out. Secondly, if we have too many choices, it could wear us out. And these were both backed up by research that was done in college research, but they only had half the truth, right? Then they got better. They said, oh no, actually willpower is like a muscle and it can actually be strengthened over time. So they were really on to that for a while, and it is better than the earlier theories. However, it is not complete. They're still missing something. There was still something missing. A Stanford study suggested that the power of suggestion has more to do with willpower than we realized. They took a group in and simply by telling them this statement, sometimes working on a strenuous mental task can make you feel energized for further challenging activities. When they told this to subjects, they were actually able to do more than if they were told, oh, this is going to be really hard and it's going to make you tired. So the mere suggestion that doing something hard would give them power to do more actually gave them power to do more. It was very interesting. So let's take a look at the two different statements. Willpower is a finite resource and you will absolutely run out of it if you use too much. Or B, doing something requiring willpower can drive you to accomplish even more. So which one do you think is true? Based on your experience in your past, which one do you think is true?
B.
Is B more true for you, Michelle?
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else got some thoughts?
I think A.
A, okay. Okay, so here's the answer. Drum roll. It's the one that you believe.
Oh.
Okay? So if you change your beliefs, you can change everything. So in this Stanford study of 153 students, they were asked what their beliefs were regarding motivation and willpower. Now, the ones that felt that willpower was a limited resource actually felt depleted after doing a difficult task. The ones that said they felt willpower was cumulative, that it built up on itself, they actually felt energized after a difficult task. So success breeds success, right? Excelling at something in one area of life might lead to a whole chain of successes in seemingly unrelated areas. But this works best if this is what your belief is about willpower. Because remember, both statements are true. It can be a finite resource or it can build on itself, depending on what your belief is of how willpower works. And it has a lot to do with your self-talk and your beliefs. And this is when you put your self-talk together with your beliefs, this is how you will deal with a difficult situation. So your mindset alone will make you feel more empowered. So what do we do next? Well, first of all, I want you to think about what your understanding is of willpower. How do you define it for yourself? How do you think it works? And then consider how your definition of willpower affects your actions. You can reflect on how you've done this in the past. So in the future, you can give yourself a prompt. So here's an example. Following through on my actions makes me feel like a rock star who is capable of anything. So that's a good prompt. Or you can use the one from the college. They used the one that said, sometimes working on a strenuous mental task can make you feel energized for further challenging activities. Either one, that one's a little more academic, but it works. So give yourself a prompt that you can say when you call upon this when you need it. So number 3, how may a different view of willpower help you with challenges? So it can help you with any area of life, but since this is a nutrition group, we'll talk, it can help you with nutrition consistency, sticking to a workout routine, preparing meals ahead of time, or anything in your life. So the next time you run out of willpower, think to yourself, how can I reframe what willpower means to me? What successes have I already achieved? How can I draw energy from those successes? And what small thing can I do to start building up some willpower, momentum, or motivation again? This is something that I use all the time because it kind of goes back and forth. You can feel your willpower kind of depleting sometimes because you slipped into the old ways of thinking. So then I'll catch myself and say, oh, okay, I need some confidence. I need some motivation. I need a win. I need to do something small where, okay, I'm working towards my goals. And it's usually something 5 minutes or less. And then that really does start to build it up. And I can start building up that willpower again. So remember, willpower is a tool. So it may not be, just the one thing that fixes everything. It's not a magic pill. It's a part of your toolbox of things that you can use to help you deal with difficult situations and help you keep going. But you want to remember, you see this little heart here, you want to use it with a healthy dose of self-compassion. So we don't want to be beating ourselves up. We need to cut ourselves slack when we need to, and we need to have positive self-talk